The George Floyd used a $20 counterfeit bill that had the same serial number that the FBI confiscated a month before Kobe's death in December of 2019. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security confiscated nearly $1 million of counterfeit money that came up out of China that has that serial number that was also on the $20 bill that George Floyd tried to use.
How do you know that?
I'm going to reveal something to you, and I thank God for my staff here. We have a small staff here in Los Angeles and a small staff in New York. And I also had 3 contacts with a particular law enforcement agency, so I can't reveal the names because I don't want to be 6 feet under, and God knows I'm not stupid. But they give me information. I'm not allowed to take any. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but they give me information. I have to memorize it, and so I don't want my life to be on the line. But to the average person, they think that this is crazy.
But just for the record, you're not suicidal?
I'm not suicidal
at all.
To our listeners, I'm not suicidal.
Me neither.
I'm happy with my life, thank God, and I have no intentions of committing suicide. I'm not sick. I have no disease, thank God, by His grace. George Floyd, and 60 to 65% of the buildings that were burnt down, were insured through Berkshire Hathaway.
Buffett.
Who owns Berkshire Hathaway?
Buffett and Charlie Munger, who's deceased.
There you go. He's the one that also not only cashed in, but 65% of those buildings that were destroyed by Black Lives Matter, who are led by 3 black witches, Patrisse Cullors, Oprah Tometi, and the third one, Alicia Garza. They're witches. They believe in the West African religion, Odu Ifa, O-D-U space I-F-A, which is a West African witchcraft religion of the demons possessing 16 points of the body. But yet there are 16 chapters of Black Lives Matter. 15 here in the United States, 1 in Canada, 16. And so I was on the Alex Jones show exposing this some years ago. And so 65% of the buildings that were destroyed during that riot in Minneapolis were insured through Berkshire Hathaway. Remember those thousands, actually hundreds of bricks that were found throughout Minneapolis and many of the rioters were using came from Berkshire Hathaway, which Warren Buffett says he has nothing to do with. You see, this is called problem, reaction, solution, where the deep state creates a catastrophe because they know that black folk, not all of us, but a high percentage, they're going to react because we have never dealt with our historical pain and we've never dealt with our historical trauma. So they manipulate our pain and they weaponize our trauma against us. So George Floyd was a bouncer at the El Nove nightclub in Minneapolis. The owner of the nightclub, who hired Derek Chauvin, the cop, right? He was security for the El Nove nightclub. Kobe Bryant and his wife were frequent guests at that nightclub when Kobe was playing for the Lakers, and once a year they would go to Minneapolis to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So these ley lines, and now coming back to Kobe Bryant, why was he taken out? Well, he had a major lawsuit against 3 of the most powerful pharmaceutical industries during that time, going back to the year 2020. The NSAID Therapeutic Corporation, INSYS, out of Chandler, Arizona. The Acorn pharmaceutical industry, which is now defunct as of going back to 2023. I believe they filed chapters 7, 9, and 11 bankruptcy. They were out of Lake Forest, Illinois. And Acorn had bought high-tech pharmaceuticals out of Norcross, Georgia, whose owner, Jared Wheat, is being investigated by the FBI and the SEC for insider trading. Why would Kobe go after these pharmaceutical corporations who are owned by one of the most powerful entities on this earth, the Novartis AG Group out of Basel, Switzerland, who does the drug testing for the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball, you see. So Kobe was a threat to the system. He was suing these entities because, not just because they was using his nickname, Black Mamba, as through their hyper rush pills, but also Kobe said, I'm going to expose you, NSA, Acorn with the K, and I'm going to expose you, high-tech pharmaceuticals, because you're lacing these weight loss pills with opioid substances that also cause cancer. See, the deep state doesn't care if your name is Kobe. They don't care if you, okay, look at Michael Jordan, not to go all over the map. We're talking about not just Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project completed, but the immaculate deception of history.